Influence, prices, colors, and messages are designed to affect how we think. Hi, we're Haitu, and today we'll show you how companies play with our minds and guide what we buy.
Have you ever felt the urgency to buy something just because it is running out of stock? Well, if you have, then you might have fallen into a really smart marketing and selling strategy, which is scarcity. We are Victoria and Michelle, and now we are going to dive into how companies use our biological sense of scarcity to make us buy more. In simple terms, scarcity is a business strategy in which sellers pretend to limit their products in some way, whether by time, quantity, or exclusivity, in order to produce in their customers a sense of urgency, encouraging them to buy the product before it's gone, leading them to feel that they are losing an opportunity if they don't have it just because others might take advantage of it first. This is called FOMO, or fear of missing out, and according to the Journal of Consumer Research, is what drives 65% of purchasing decisions.
Do you remember the special edition of a Wall of Places movie? Everyone started buying this product like crazy. It went viral and it ran out of stock in a matter of hours. Well, many social media sites like Instagram or TikTok take advantage of FOMO by showing users what people consume to make you buy. That is why Leon Festinger, a social psychologist, explains that our brains are constantly evaluating what happens in our environment and what others do, which leads us to compare ourselves and want to fit in. This is why Deloitte states that 73% of people buy viral products just for a sense of belonging.
Now we will explain the main FOMO and scarcity strategies that most brands use. For instance, everybody here knows Temu, right? Well, this brand triggers its audience fear of missing out by sending messages with urgent tones about how their products are on the verge of selling out. They use phrases like only 2 left or the offer ends in 24 hours, leading them to feel that they need to buy it because when they receive this type of notifications, a feeling of dopamine is released, impulsing them to make urgent decisions such as buying the product without thinking. This is why, according to Stanford University, 68% of impulsive purchasing decisions are made.
Limited time offers and flash sales. Nowadays, the majority of brands manage to create a sense of urgency and immediate purchasing decisions by offering consumers limited time discounts, promotions, or deals, like timer countdowns or tier discounts. Psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky explain that the pain of losing something is stronger than the pleasure of gaining it. That is why these strategies work a lot, because in the moment that you see phrases like, the offer ends in 24 hours, you feel the urgency to buy the product even though you weren't sure to do it. For example, Money Tips always have their countdowns displayed in order to make you feel the necessity to buy in the moment, even if it's not true because their countdowns are always reset.
Or we have Wildlist with its 50% off offer, and they use phrases like it's here and only for 2 days, or here today, come tomorrow.
Show scarcity. It involves using inventory indicators like only 2 left or going fast in order to increase the fear of missing out on a particular product. A real-life example of this tactic is Jackie, which lets you know whenever they are running low on a particular item.
Real-life purchasing. When you show to your customers recent activity from other users, 2 things happen: social validation and a sense of urgency. Sites usually use phrases like "Puppy purchased this item 5 minutes ago," giving the impression that this product is popular or limited, generating a sense of belonging and creating the need of buying it before it runs out.
Contests and raffles. At these types of events, brands establish a limited time to register while offering limited gifts to encourage their target audience to participate quickly to not miss out on potential rewards. Likewise, it increases the likelihood of people on purchasing products just to participate on these raffles as they'll see what others might win. G Fuel runs a giveaway on their website where they give their visitors 2 options. either to have the opportunity to win one right prize or 10 run-up incentives.
Limited edition products. Limited edition products create two things: excitement and a sense of urgency. Plus, they allow the brands to transmit significance and uniqueness. Brands like Starbucks use this strategy with its seasonal drinks such as pumpkin spice or Christmas beverages, encourage their customers to buy them just because they are temporary.
Personalized scarcity. Nowadays, AI tools allow brands to create personalized tactics. For example, when you see only 2 items left on your site, feels more important and relevant than just seeing that a product is going to sell out.
Exclusive offers and VIP memberships. This involves creating a loyalty program in which regular customers receive bird offers, discounts, or unique products in order to create a community. Brands like Starbucks use this strategy because they give to the regular customers free drinks, personalized rewards, and special promotions, encouraging them to stay loyal to the brand and buy more frequently. To wrap this up, many brands have created strategies by taking advantage from FOMO and scarcity in order to increase sales and conversions, increase perceived value, and reduce consumer hesitancy.
Even though these strategies have good results, there are other many tactics like psychological pricing, which is just as effective when used correctly.
Now you know that there are some ways in which companies lead you to buy things that you don't really need. We are Ale and Julian, and we are going to talk to you about psychological pricing. Psychological pricing strategies are ways in which companies influence their customers' purchasing decisions by changing prices to make them appear like they are better. For example, when the price instead of being the usual, it is 1 cent off to make it look like it's cheaper, when in reality it isn't.
One reason why using these strategies is so effective is that customers normally can't tell the price of a product, so they only compare it to other products of the same category. Imagine, for example, that you're shopping around in a store you like, and you see a product that has a big on sale sign on it, so you think, this price must be incredible, I will for sure buy it. And when you arrive home, have you vowed to tell your mom about this sale? For her just to tell you that in another store, it's always at the same price.
Psychological pricing strategies also make you feel smart and intelligent at the moment of comparing prices, like if somehow you manage to outsmart the system. Simultaneously, the higher the cost, the better the product. So, if you see a high product and it has some kind of discount on it, you are more likely to buy it. For example, imagine you're on Amazon and you see some shoes that you like. They are really expensive, but as they have a big discount on them, you decide to buy them, as they create a sense of urgency and you feel that you're taking advantage out of it. Now we're going to talk to you about types of psychological pricing strategies.
The first one is term pricing and minimum pricing, which is one of the most heavily taught strategies. It consists of removing 1 cent of the rounded dollar price of an item, as you can see in the image, to trick the brain into thinking it costs less. Or minimum pricing, which means that customers are more likely to purchase an item that ends in an odd number more often than the ones that end in even numbers.
Artificial time constraints are another really common way that companies use to trick their customers' minds. You've probably heard these phrases before. One day only, a few hours left, early bird sale. These are some phrases that companies use to trick their customers' minds, and they create a sense of urgency, so that when they see that these kind of offers, they are more likely to buy it, as they are taking advantage out of it.
This strategy, called numeracy, takes simple math and chooses the option that is more appealing to a customer. For example, if you go in a store and you saw a box of pasta that says 50% off when buying 2, and next to it there is another brand that says buy 1, get 1 free, you are more likely to buy the second one. As for you, it sounds like a better deal even though they are the same.
Did you know the ways a price appears can affect the way you feel about it? Well, price appearance is about this. For example, look at the image. One is $12 and the other 2, but one has the cents, so it makes you feel as if it was more expensive, but in reality it isn't.
Now we have flat rates. These make things easier in a lot of situations. For example, when planning a vacation, you might consider staying at an all-inclusive resort versus one that doesn't offer a package. When you're looking at the prices, you will think, I would totally prefer this resort is a way better offer than just staying to sleep at the normal one. This is because it makes you feel better and easier to buy the option that it's like all inclusive, because we like to see just straight up flat rates instead of doing thing by thing, as it feels as if it was a better offer overall.
Another really common pricing strategy is the bundle pricing. A bundle pricing is when companies offer you a group of products or services in a less expensive way. So, for example, imagine you're at McDonald's and you see a deal that includes a burger, a soda, and some fries. Well, it is less expensive than buying each of these separately. So, are you buying more and you're feeling like you're wasting less of your money? But why does this work so well? It's because it simplifies decision making for you, making you feel as if you were spending less and taking more advantage out of it.
Premium pricing offers you a basic version of product or service for free and then offers you to pay for more features. For example, Spotify lets you hear music for free, but if you want to get rid of the ads and be able to download music, you need to pay for the premium version of it. This is good as you're more likely to try out something that is free and then pay the money for it, as you have already been convinced about the product you are buying.
Dynamic pricing based on customer behavior. This one works as you're in the jobs page or browsing around the internet. For example, imagine you've been looking at a product that you like a lot, but it is expensive. So you may get a little discount on it, for you to finally create like that sense of urgency and finally click the buy button on that product that you've been waiting long to buy. And as we have seen, psychological pricing strategies are another way in which companies take advantage of their customers' mind and take more money out of them. But there is also a social part, which is really important, and it's the social proof.
Let's break the ice with some questions. Who likes shopping here?
Okay, now who doesn't? Well, this actually relates to from psychological strategies.
Hello, we're Renata and Zoe, and today we're going to talk to you about what social proof is, how it is used in marketing, and how it impacts us directly as consumers. Think about this. When you buy a shirt, you ask for feedback on how it looks, right? Or you review a product's comments before actually buying it.
And you can even feel influenced by TikTok, Instagram short videos, or famous people before buying it. Well, according to a local consumer review survey, we have that 97% of consumers read online reviews when browsing for local businesses, and that 90% of software buyers are influenced by some type of social proof during the consideration stage. Simplifying this means that within one row, 6 out of 8 respondents have been influenced by some of these reasons to buy a product.
So, after talking about all of this, let's get to the point. What actually is social proof? Social proof is a psychological phenomenon in which we look to others' actions or behaviors to influence or decide how we will act or behave. This obviously plays with our desire to fit in by giving us a sense of security and belonging.
One major form of social proof is awards and accolades. When a product wins an award or a movie earns a major honor, we instantly assume it's high quality and that we should buy it. Well, this recognition signal of approval makes us create or deliver quick decisions without doing much research on the product. Another common form is recommendations. Recommendations and influencer marketing. Influencers affect our choices because we see them as relatable or knowledgeable. When they promote a product, it feels like a personal recommendation rather than a traditional ad, which makes the product or service more persuasive. We also see social proof in user-generated content, like videos, posts, and photos. Seeing real people use and enjoy products makes us feel more authentic and trustworthy. Testimonials and reviews are also a powerful form. Before buying or choosing a service, people tend to check online ratings. While positive reviews reassure us, negative ones can easily change our minds. Finally, personal interactions play a big role. Friends, family, and even classmates can influence our choices through recommendations and shared experiences. People around us, when they approve something, it's more likely for us to follow and finally buy the product. Overall, social shaping our decisions through both online content and social interactions.
Now we know social proof is generally used in marketing strategies, but it isn't all good or all bad. So let's talk about its duality, starting with its positive side. Social proof can increase a company's credibility and customer trust, as we mentioned earlier, by user-generated content. Seeing reviews posted by actual people who bought the product, which include unedited pictures, can make the company feel a lot more trustworthy. Added to this, I think a great example are makeup and clothes. As you can see people with a similar size or skin tone as you wearing the product you want to buy, and this can give you a better idea of how it will look when you wear it. Now, let's talk about its negative side, or what happens when social proof is misused. Social proof, when misused, can lead to misinformation about what the product actually claims to provide. And I think another example of this are influencer reviews. As the ad is being paid for, the opinions might be biased or are usually exaggerated. And this is obviously done to increase interaction and revenue for both parties. In the end, it can lead to consumers buying a product which they don't feel satisfied with, or in the long term, it can give the company a bad reputation for misleading advertisements and bad quality products. Now you know what social proof is and a lot more about marketing strategies. So our classmates are going to give you a great example of this by providing a company analysis.
So, look at this image. What brand comes to your mind?
Hi, we're Diana and Andrea, and now we will take you through an analysis of one major company in the global marketplace.
It's easy to call this a must-have. For videos, it can live without.
I could ask,
No. This symbol represents legacy that has evolved from more technology into a cultural architectural style. An ecosystem of influence, status, and undisputed market dominance.
but let's face it, is it worth it? Countless brands offer similar deals, yet their storytelling lacks the same pull and market discussion. Why? Because Apple's strategy isn't about the product itself, but a narrative one we can identify and relate to. That's why they remain one of the most renowned brands.
Well, for legacy, Apple defines our modern era. It isn't just tech. It's a global benchmark for reputation and innovation, one of the most recognized brands on the planet. It remains an influential, dominant global leader. Furthermore, its market capitalization hovers around $3.8 trillion in early 2026.
From global athletes to visionary creators, the world's most influential figures adopt Apple as their standard. This implicit endorsement creates a powerful narrative in which success, Apple, and talent are interlinked. This has become the spoken choice for cultural icons, positioning the brand not just as a tool, but as a universal signature of achievement.
Apple embodies simplicity, creativity, and revolution in this new technological era. It's minimalist, clean, and aspirational company. They project a singular, unequivocal vision. Apple doesn't sell you a product. They sell you the version of yourself. When you become when you own one.
This dynamic is most visible in the hashtag share an iPhone ripple effect. Here, Apple's best marketing doesn't even come from their own creative team. It's essentially user-generated content. By taking broad amateur shots and slapping them onto massive billboards, they turn the everyday user into a high-status creator.
Apple looks past social proof to address a core human driver, the desire of belonging. They use this psychological anchor to build trust effectively transform strategically scarcity to aspirational desire.
But Apple doesn't stop at belonging. They have created an environment of urgency that compels immediate action, not just about out-of-stock narratives.
Ultimately, these strategies converge in what can be described as a background app. Think about every unboxing or daily live blog video you see when a MacBook or an iPhone is constantly in the frame. At this point, Apple no longer needs advertising. The product becomes a silent backup of success. Simple? Social proof
shifts from persuasion to performability, framing the ecosystem as the default standard for belonging.
To be outside of the ecosystem is to experience a subtle but effective state of friction, where the desire to fit in becomes the primary driver for joining the movement.
This strategy is further reinforced by their psychological infrastructure. An ecosystem for futures like image and airdrop have evolved and transformed into essentials for social connectivity.
Apple achieved this through price anchoring, where a high-end product sets the standard for value perception, making subsequent products simulatively affordable.
Apple's pricing strategically is about one thing, desirability. They strategically refers at one simple truth. A higher price naturally implies exclusivity and prestige. You aren't buying a tech, you're buying a spot in that exclusive circle.
This strategy triggers value rather than cost. Apple utilizes a minimalist approach, eliminating cognitive friction and building instant credibility. Their storytelling makes the brand feel personal and authentic, recalling our favorite experiences and memories.
For example, the Apple Vision Pro price $3,499 acts as a powerful psychological anchor by positioning this high-cost headset first. The $1,199 of iPhone 17 Pro Max suddenly feels accessible by comparison. Ultimately, Apple strategies works because transcends being being just a brand, but a global community of loyal customers who feel connected with this brand.
In conclusion, businesses do not only sell products, they sell ideas and emotions. By using strategies like social proof, psychological pricing, scarcity, or FOMO, brands know how to make their brands look and feel. This makes it easier for us to know the marketing messages and to make more intelligent purchases. So the next time that you buy something, think if whether you really bought what you wanted or if they were just playing with your mind. Thank you.
If you have any questions, please let us know.
Awesome.
Probably no questions, but any feedback you'd like to give them?
I really love it. It was amazing. I think you used the language in an appropriate way and you presented with confidence. And the presentation was very clear. So congrats.
Thank you.
What is outstanding is that this was an eye-opener, I'm pretty sure, for many of us who know the brands, but who don't know about the strategies behind their marketing. So thank you very much. There was enough evidence of very careful research, appealing presentation, appealing demeanor. Everybody, congratulations. Thank you very much for this.